Greetings, Koopalings! The Shack is back. And I've claimed what is rightfully my hosting chair. That's right. The Mr. Ain't No G's in Playing Nintendo is hosting the Nintendo Shack tonight. Jason is, he's been booted. He's been booted off. For our other Patreon partner, Mr. Ryan, how are you, sir?
I'm great, man. Glad to be on.
Coming all the way over from Nintendo Nostalgia, I got my sis with me, like I do every week. Caroline, how are you? She can't hear us. Fantastic. Even better. Uh-oh. King of the Pirates. Sup, guys? I'm at work. Thanks. Looks like we're having technical issues, which can all be edited in post. All right, so Caroline's probably going to have to restart or something, and we're going to come back. So let's just continue. Tonight we have a really good show because we have a bombshell of a rumor that just dropped on us, and we're going to talk all about it. Caroline, can you hear us now?
Yes.
There it is. Caroline, how are you doing?
Of course, that had to happen as soon as we went live. Like, I hear you just go, "Greetings, Koopali!"
I evoked the ways of Fluxtaposed.
Yeah, okay, so you jinxed us.
And
he was just talking about how they just totally ate it. Anyway.
Damn it, Fluxtapost. All right, anyway, now that you're here, let's just restart. All right? Okay. Can we do that? We'll just do that and I'll cut it off. Live listeners, you got yourself a treat. 3, 2, 1. Greetings, Koopalings! Welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and I have claimed what is rightfully my hosting chair. That's right, Ain't No G's in Playing Nintendo is hosting this evening. I've brought Ryan from Nintendo Nostalgia over, replacing Jason. He's in Jason's chair tonight. How are you doing, Ryan?
I'm great, man. Glad to be on.
Caroline, attempt number 2. How are you?
Holy crap, I'm good. It actually worked this time.
There we go. It's like we haven't done 50 of these. Can you tell? So, as I was about to say, tonight is a great show because we have a bombshell of a rumor that is real juicy that I can't wait to break down to. But before I do, let's get the particulars out of the way. The Nintendo Shack is a proud member of the PSVG Podcast Network, a podcast network that just launched its first separate satellite show-dedicated feed. That is right, Koopalings. The Nintendo Shack has its own podcast feed right now. It's live right now. It's on Google Play. It's on Stitcher. It's on TuneIn. I saw it on iHeartRadio. It's on iTunes.
Ah! We are that official. Oh, my God.
It's everywhere. So please, what we're asking, what we're challenging, pleading, begging you to do is go subscribe. Give us a rating. There's an opportunity when you launch a podcast kind of in that first week to get on some trending highlights, some new and noteworthy things. It helps us. So please go subscribe to, tell your friends, let them know. If they've been a listener for 3 years on PSVG Masterfeed, if they haven't been seeing our tweets, if they don't come by the Twitter or the new blog, which has been relaunched, psvg.blog is back online now. We have a new show feed. We're the first one. Bored with Video Games will be following us, followed by PSXP, followed by the OT, and then eventually PSVG will reload and go live with its own, including Arcadia and the Xbox Empire. So this is exciting news. You guys asked for it. We've heard on it from Twitter since the get-go. There's a lot of people, they have their favorite hosts, completely understandable, the people at PSVG that they like, they don't hear anybody else. And swiping right's too much to ask. They hate master feeds, whatever the reason.
So lazy.
Whatever the reason, they wanted us to have our own shows. We launched the goal now that we are Patreon powered by the Make Us Better Patreon community, which we share with Ryan, Nintendo Nostalgia, Sean Capri, the Warp Whistle, and all the great things that we all do over there. And we launched the feed, the goal, and we hit it in like 2 weeks. So it was obviously somebody out there, you guys won it. Our patrons won it. They wanted us to hit this goal, so we did. Getting everything up was a little bit more challenging than I particularly thought. We basically had to move everything to a new blog, stand up completely new feeds, which meant we had to reload every show. So I just kind of typed away at it for 4 days until we got it all back online, and we relaunched, and everything went today, and it was great. So I'm very excited, if you can't tell. And yeah, please, that's all we can ask. Please let your friends know, go subscribe, give us a review, whatever you can do, anything you can do, just to kind of help us launch the show properly. So folks can find us. I'm very excited, if for no other reason, I'm very excited for all of our shows to be more discoverable. I think that alone is probably the best argument you could make for doing this. You know, people can find us now by searching Nintendo. Nintendo, yeah. You know, people can find bored with video games by board games, or looking through tabletop hobbies and things like that. You know, we can kind of stand out versus the master feed. You kind of had to know where we were to come find us. So now that all the particulars out of the way, we got this huge bombshell rumor to get into, and we're going to break it down. We're going to start right off with a bang. But before we do, just kind of ease into it. I mean, I know I asked you how you were doing, Caroline, but like, seriously, how are you doing? Like, have you had a good week? Everything's been good?
Are you trying to get me to talk about it?
No, I'm not. I'm literally, as your friend, I literally just want to talk to you.
No, I'm good. I wanted to talk about it because today I kind of like put my butt up on my shoulders. And I didn't do anything bad, but it was embarrassing for me as a person that's trying to get into the streaming thing. And sorry, Brian is just in here eavesdropping. I got into this new game this past week called Arena of Valor, which is literally a League of Legends clone. It's owned by Tencent Games, who bought out Riot Games, and it's quite literally the same thing as League of Legends. It's a MOBA. I haven't played a MOBA game since 2012 when I got out of League because it got to be too toxic for me and I was too emotionally invested in all this stuff. And I figured it's coming to Switch. It's a port. I'll just get into it and stuff. You know, everybody was playing it. And I've kind of just not played anything else at all. And the obsession has gotten me again. And
Ryan, do you know what she's talking about?
I do a little bit. Me and my friend Robbie, we're gonna start that up because he's huge into League of Legends and he's getting really burnt out. And so I said, hey, let's do this Arena of Valor thing. But he hasn't had the free time to get on with me to play. But I did play through the starting tutorial stuff. And
I don't want to derail your story too much, Caroline. But I gotta say, I tuned into your stream the other day. Most of the time when I come by just to troll, just to mess with you because it's just fun. But in all seriousness, I wasn't joking. That game looks incredibly boring. I don't know what it is, why you're all playing it for so long. It's very, I'm like, am I watching live action Pokemon Quest? Like you're just all running around, like tapping, throwing things.
It's just strategic and fighting, and you make sure that you get your lanes. The whole point is to infiltrate the other people's base.
So all of the people on the map are actually like people.
Correct.
Like, okay.
There's 5 on each team, and I mean, like, there's bot NPCs and like monsters that you can fight to gain experience in the match while you're doing it to level you up to better get to the other sides. Anyway, I mean, like, if you look up what a multi-online battle arena
is when you say MOBA, I tune out. I'm still that gamer that's like too scared of even the acronym. I'm like, nope, not for me. Gotcha. Never tried it. Don't want to. Nope. You know, that's what I'm in that Devin camp. You know, I'm just like,
So, but anyway, I get very emotionally tied up in things. So, like college football and video games, anything competitive. I am a little bit too in there. And I got angry today because I started my stream a little bit before 3:30, and it was almost 5 o'clock, and I hadn't won a single match. We played 4 in a row, and I hadn't won any of them. And I started to get mad after the second one.
Is it just a matter of like you've been playing it so much that now you're getting really good, so the game is getting harder?
No, I just had crap hands.
You're just getting owned.
Yeah, okay. It was just bad matchups. And I was I don't know. Maybe I was playing sloppy. But I was just, I got really angry, and I've done so well to build what I've done the past couple of months for my new stream.
I think you were the envy of everybody on the team. I mean, everybody looks at you and they're like, wow, she's really killing it. Because you're really killing it. You're committed, you're dedicated, you put the time in, your stuff looks professional. Like, I get it.
And well, I mean, and I like halfway through the 3rd match, I was like, I've got to stop playing today because I'm just getting angry. And it was coming through. Like I was screaming, and I was not happy, and it's just not good streaming material.
It's not even not good streaming material. You're not like,
I don't want people to see that side of me either.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You shouldn't have that side. Like, video games shouldn't do that. There's so many things in the world to worry about. Video games shouldn't be doing that to people. If video games are doing that to you, you should play a different video game.
And I talked to some people about that, and they suggested that maybe I just stop playing it.
You need Mario in your life if that's what's going on. Like, you need some happiness. Like, what is going on?
There was a reason that I stopped playing League of Legends, and it was because I couldn't handle it. And I'm having fun when I'm just casually playing it. It's nice to be able to take it portably on the Switch and like take it over into the other room, and you're not sitting at your computer. It has been kind of interesting having played it on your computer, you know, through keyboard and stuff, and making the transition to a handheld or a controller. You know, it's very interesting. But I don't think I'm gonna. I chilled out. I apologized on Twitter, and I'm gonna apologize again. Like that's not what I'm supposed to be when I'm streaming, period. And I went and got a drink while I was doing it and stuff. And I'm like, I should be drinking to relax, you know, and if I got the drink just to, you know, chill me out, there's a problem. And I don't know. I think I just need to keep myself in check. And like Brian told me earlier, he's like, you're really bad at that, keeping yourself in check type thing. Like, you're just not good at it. So I don't know if I'm going to be stopping streaming Arena of Valor as of tomorrow, or when people are listening to this on Friday, or if I'm just going to try it again and be more conscious of how I'm reacting to things. It's just something that I got to think about. But I just, you know, I had one of those slip up days where
it's not a bad day. You let it get the best of you.
Yeah, I'm not proud of the way that I handled it.
I could imagine it's a little, and please, Jeremy, if I'm being incorrect here, I see how you interact with folks on Twitter and in your streams, and how you were squatting up with folks. It seemed like you were getting some attention with this game. And I think it could be worth pointing out, like, to maybe take a lesson out of this.
Sure.
Streaming something simply because people want to watch you stream it isn't necessarily the best course of action.
Right. That's true too. And I have had some great new people come in because they've seen me playing this over the past week.
Right.
And I'm totally for new people coming in my stream, no matter what game I'm playing, and I hope they stick around regardless, even if it's something that they're not interested in. But that being said, it's just something that I've got to think about. Like, do I play the games? Do I play them at all? Number one, if they're making me have that sort of mental breakdown, because it's not healthy. And it's, like you said, a game should be fun, and it shouldn't be something that you rage at and get grief over just because you're not winning.
Sure.
But I'm a competitive person, man. I mean, you know, football does the same thing to me. So. Oh
man, we made fun of her football team, and she like basically stopped talking to us for 2 days. She's an intense girl, young Caroline. I kind of got the same way, not nearly as far, but like with Hollow Knight. I get to the point where I was squeezing the controller and I was grinding my teeth, but unlike you, I just stopped. I'm like, nope, no. I don't play Pokemon Quest. I just quit.
I don't like to be, so I don't like being bested by something.
Oh no, I'm happy.
That's the thing.
When you're whipped, say you're whipped.
No.
I'll come back to this another day and a better mindset. Nope, it's not worth it.
I think like there was a Xenoblade, the first game, when I went back and played the Wii version, there was one of the not the actual final boss, but she should have been the final boss. And I think I tried beating her like 8 times before I finally beat her. And Brian can tell you how I'm just gonna like I was a heinous biatch. Let's just say that.
That's the problem. You've let it go too far. It's I don't care how long it takes you to do it if you're having fun. It's the moment when you're not having any more fun where you need to be self-reflective and go, okay, for the betterment of me, for the betterment of people I live with, for everybody involved, I should probably take a break. You know, you need like those little Wii moments. Like, you've been playing a long time. Go outside.
That was another thing. I thought I had matured, you know, as a person, and that no. Hear me out.
It's a funny thing to say.
Well, okay, so I hadn't played League since I was like getting ready to leave getting ready to leave college, and I was a different maturity level then. That's been almost 7 years ago, right? And I figured, you know, I've grown up. I've gotten a little bit more patient with things. Not really. So I figured I'd just take another stab at this kind of game. You know, I'll be fine. And I don't know what it is. So, well, but we'll see.
This is why we shack, right?
Yeah.
That's why you come here, to be amongst friends and family.
Hashtag therapy.
That's it. Shack Life fixes all things. Come drown yourself in the waters of Nintendo. Speaking of those waters, Nintendo kind of grabbed the news cycle this morning when the New York Times put out an article talking about a Switch iteration. Now, I'm going to read some things here, and then we're going to talk about it. But I want to say, I basically blew all I had to say earlier in the Discord as everybody was talking about it. So I'm going to go first on this and let you guys react. But more or less, the article said, late 2019, a Switch hardware revision, a new SKU would come. And then I'm going to read from Christopher Dring over at gamesindustry.biz, which, by the way, if you don't know of that website, it's fantastic. It's one of the best. I love them. And he more or less says that what they're hearing is the objective is to make the device brighter, thinner, and more energy efficient. There's been a lot of discussion today. YouTube's going nuts with the clickbait headlines and the thumbnails. People talking about, you know, new processors and new games, and you know they're right to do that. Nintendo has a history of doing things like that. I think it's worth. I like to start the conversation. I think it's worth pointing out that none of these rumors, none of these sources are saying that it's any sort of processor workflow revision. Everything seems to be pointing at use of space. That's not saying that it's not, but the sources that are being cited are hardware suppliers and manufacturing lines and part companies, and they at least he led on in the initial report that it wasn't that. It's something thinner, brighter, more power, battery efficient, things like that. So I originally took the article to mean, we're getting some sort of 3DS XL to the 3DS type,
right?
Thing, which by the way is worth pointing out is about the same time frame. About a year and a half after the 3DS launch, we got the 3DS XL, and basically the exact same hardware and infrastructure, but bigger screens, new things, move some buttons around, that type of stuff, quality of life improvement. So that's what I'm expecting here. So let's talk about it. The things that I said earlier today was just that I wasn't expecting a new Switch hardware release, although there is that Tegra X2 out there that I imagine they could flop in there and improve at least some pixel counts. But a lot of people are talking about what this could be, and for one, I don't know what it is. But the thing that I think, the point that at least I'd like to make to start the conversation is looking at their calendar of releases, knowing that we have an Animal Crossing game, knowing that we have a mainline Pokemon game coming. I've often said this before. I think a lot of people are thinking, I'd want like a bigger tablet or a stronger tablet, an LED screen, something on par with the new iPhones and things like that they go. Mm-hmm. I kind of going the opposite approach. I'm thinking possibly, just as a theory, what's the idea? What's your guys' thoughts around them possibly going like the mini route?
Smaller.
They go small. And
I like small.
The reason that I say that is they could keep the same hardware. They could lighten the screen a bit, make it thinner. That would improve battery life. They could throw some more memory in there. They could just, give it a little notch up, and that would improve value. If they did that, and let's say if they did that and they dropped the dock, I think they could significantly slash the price. And
sure.
The point that I'm trying to make is I think the Switch's sweet spot to really get going is the $199 mark. If they can get something in the $199 range with Animal Crossing and Pokemon aimed at portability and handheld players, then I think they've got a hit. I know the Switch is underpowered. I've talked about it quite a bit. I have an X. I like the power. I still think it's too early for a significant hardware boost because we don't know what the competitors have yet.
I agree.
I would be interested if Nintendo would jump early. Maybe they're like, future-proofing, but to me, if I was Nintendo, considering that they're still selling, I would go the opposite way. How can we make this cheaper and sell more of them while we wait for our competitors to show us their hands? Because Nintendo loves iterations. We've got the 2DS, the 2DS XL, the 3DS, the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL, the DS, the DSi, the DSi Lite. They love to do this. I fully expect by the time we close the door on Switch, we will have a more powerful Switch unit. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, if you're thinking about buying a new Switch, like I am, I'm getting that Poke Switch, I don't think you should be concerned, because I don't think this is really going to impact that. But let's turn it over. Ryan, you finally got here. 20 minutes into the show, we're going to let you talk. What do you think?
Okay. So I think that this is following the line of the DS, not the 3DS. So it's going to have the DS, then the DS Lite. So this is going to be the Switch, and then the Switch Lite. I can see it be a thinner console. Definitely a better screen. I think that it's actually going to be paving the way for being able to do VR. So you'll need it a lot lighter to make it comfortable in the headset. I came up with an idea of like VR, VIIR, or VIIU for view. So
that's cute.
That's good stuff.
This is the stepping stone to get us to a Switch that can support a VR. So,
Okay.
I didn't even think about VR. I mean, it's possible. Like I don't even know if Nintendo wants to play ball with VR, because I mean, I guess everybody else is doing it.
Reggie just said that they're looking into it, that they're experimenting. It's something that they constantly think about.
I don't think they have any issues going back to the II and their branding, because it is motion based. VR is pretty much, that's what it is all motion. So I don't think there's no shame in bringing up the Wii by doing the VR thing.
Yeah,
I think.
But that's kind of my thought.
If you did the headset, I'm just riffing off of your idea. You're telling me Nintendo's going to do, some sort of Google Android headset thing that you can slap your Switch onto your face with. I would go the opposite, and you make it Labo.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You do like a Labo helmet thing that you can build and put the Switch
into.
Oh,
that would be cool.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be cool.
It
Extremely uncomfortable, but really cool.
It would be super lightweight, and you're right. It wouldn't be like, it would not be like a true VR competitor, but it would be a VR experience that unlike actual VR, is mass market friendly. If they did something like that was motion based, that you could look around with, and you could buy a $60 Labo kit and do it, I would totally do it just for a weekend. I think a lot of people would. I would,
Oh yeah.
It would probably have motion sensing rails that would slide on where the Joy-Cons would go. So it could track your movement. You wouldn't have to put any extra into it, just something form-fitting.
I just immediately went to,
you don't have Joy-Con sticking off the top.
I immediately went to the robot thing, right? You have the robot kit. It tracks your motion with the Joy-Cons, and then you've got the headset, where it actually zooms in the frame of view. Just imagine if they kind of just excelled at that idea.
Can you imagine Star Fox with that?
That'd be nuts. That would make people throw up, maybe. Caroline, what do you think of my idea of making it smaller and cheaper?
I didn't even think about the smaller thing, but now that I think about it, we came out with the 2DS before we did anything. We did go 3DS XL first, but we had a 2DS to make it more accessible for children. And if you're making it more accessible for children, it does need to be sort of a cheaper model. One that's not going to be broken so easily, or if it is broken, easily replaceable.
Yep.
And if they are going for that thing that they said, we want everybody in the house to have one of these, you got to get some for the kiddos that are
300 is too much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if cheaper materials. I don't know, but going smaller would definitely be the way to do it. And just like a miniature, smaller version. Now, if you're doing that, I honestly think that you're going to have to downgrade a little bit.
So I was going to say, every bit you can save on the screen size enhances the battery power, like just, twofold. Just a little bit? The only thing that I don't like about my idea, the thing that I can't get over, is how does it work with Joy-Cons?
That's what I was wondering.
I think it has to at least remain that high, because I don't think you're going to do another Joy-Con. So, do you just make it, smaller? Do you just chop off, 2 inches off the side?
Probably.
And make it thinner, but I don't know how they do that. But I was postulating in Discord today, by the way. Go to psvg.blog, click on the big Discord banner, come join us. That if they took the dock out, or they released a thinner dock, so let's say they make a smaller unit that comes with a smaller dock, they kind of do a Switch Lite line of accessories. They could just sell the dock separately at a smaller price. so they get the SKU down, something that's really reasonable, can fly off shelves
Or,
fast.
or maybe it's just smaller, and they have appendages, extra things that go on there that allow you to use the normal size Joy-Con. So it's just kind of like, I'm trying to explain it. Like it's bigger on the sides and then it gets smaller in the middle. Does that make sense? It's not like all one big block. It's just the Joy-Cons are the largest part of the sides, and then it gets smaller in the middle with the screen. So I mean, like maybe there's that size difference there, but
the crazy part of me wanted to go as far as saying maybe they give you a model that doesn't have Joy-Con that detach. Do we think that's crazy?
No, because I mean, you think about the 2DS when it first came out. It was a brick. There was no clamshell. There's no folding, opening, and closing. So I don't think that's completely out of the question.
Come on, Ryan, engage. It's crazy. Tell me.
So I don't know. I don't like the sound of that. The have it all fused together, because it's all about the sharing. But if it does become a personal system and everyone has one, then why do you need to share the joy when you have everyone in the house that has it? So
and it's not to say that you couldn't play games on the system with multiple Joy-Cons.
Right. If you had extra Joy-Cons, I mean, those aren't attached to the system.
Exactly.
So you can hand that
you
off,
could still play with them. It's just on the smaller unit, it literally just doesn't come apart. It's like
a party system and then a personal system.
It's like a Vita. And I was thinking in my mind, it was kind of interesting because, you know, like that sounds nuts because it's such a detraction from what the Switch has been. But what the Switch is, going back to the NX days, is both. It's a crossover. It's both. And the Switch line, if they went that, would literally be both. They'd be selling handhelds and consoles to do different markets.
I would think that if you did that with the Joy-Cons kind of fused to it, or you know, attached to it, then maybe package it. I know it bumps up the price a little bit, but maybe package it with a Pro controller. I don't know if you necessarily want to do that, but it's to go towards those people who don't really care about the Joy-Cons and sharing the joy. They just want a game on a regular controller.
That's it. That's it. I think that's I don't think that's as nuts as it sounds. Like when I first thought about it, I think that's crazy. That's a crazy thing. I imagine a lot of people are listening to us go like that's stupid. But I mean it's kind of Nintendo. Like it's kind of Nintendo-esque. I wouldn't put it past them. Bringing the story, though, back to the actual roots of the story, my craziness aside, I literally just think this will be a thinner Switch. I was expecting, one thing that I would like is a thinner bezel on the screen. I would love the screen to extend, you know, to the edges of the console. So a thinner, lighter system with more battery life, more storage. I was thinking, I would go as far as saying Bluetooth, but I don't think so. I think Bluetooth kills the battery. I think anybody saying Bluetooth is not thinking about it just ruining the battery the moment you put it in there.
It screws my phone up. Can only imagine what
Plus, it's going to raise the price, you know. So, but that's ultimately what I was thinking. Thinner, you know, more storage, maybe 64 gig, thinner, brighter screen, you know, less bezel, lightweight, and it's just a new SKU. It's basically the exact same system, but a new SKU. What do you? But that's what I think it'll be. That was a crazy idea I wanted to put on it, but I want to ask you guys, what do you want it to be? Like rumor and sources out the window. Like, what do you want it to be? What do you want it to be, Ryan? If they're coming out with a new Switch something in 2019, what do you want it to be?
Well, I'm not quite ready to leap over to a new console iteration, but I feel like they're right at that point where it's okay to make that switch. Personally, I'm not looking into it, but I know I'm going to because I always upgrade on the handhelds for sure. So I think if I wanted to see it, definitely battery life, but not because of how short it is, but one that can keep the same battery life the Switch has now while having a dedicated voice chat on the system itself.
Ooh.
If that was a drawback, it would have something that would still last 3 hours with continuous voice chat, or without, last a lot longer. That's kind of a big thing for me. Storage, you can always upgrade with SD cards and stuff. I'm not too worried about that too much. But yeah, the battery life is a big player for me.
Caroline, what do you want it to be?
I want it to be something that I don't immediately have to get in order to play games, because you have to play the games on this new system.
I don't think they're ever going to do that again.
You don't think so?
I don't think they'll ever go the new game only, the exclusive game on this hardware. I don't think they'll ever do that again. That was all signs point to that being a colossal flop That was a huge flop on the 3DS side. They almost bailed on that program almost as soon as they started.
I mean, I don't want it to be something that they start. I don't think it's going to be better specs where it's a better processor and we get these games that can run completely flawlessly, but they chug along at a slow rate if you have the original model. But I don't want it to be something like that.
I think that day's coming. I think that day's coming. Eventually they will do a boost to the internals that, yeah, you can play them on the old Switch, but they're not going to look or run as good as the new one. I mean, that's, to be honest with you, that's what I want.
And
we've talked about that. That's what I want it to be.
3 years down the road, that's fine, but this soon, no.
I wouldn't mind it if they did it, because that's what I want. I want a more powerful Switch. I want a Switch that I'm not worried about frame rates and low textures. Sure. I want Doom and Wolfenstein to run and run well, you know, like, so I'm all for the power, and I would upgrade for more power. The only reason that I don't think so is just back to my original point. I just think it's too early for that. There's no reason to do so.
That's what I'm saying. It's been too close to launch for them to do something like that right now.
The whole argument for doing that is, well, the other companies, you know, are powerful and it's hard to port and all that. That's true, but it hasn't stopped Switch from selling. The Switch is selling. It's not impacting their sales. They have games coming in the pipeline. I don't think it's going to impact their sales.
Plus, the majority of everything is indies that are pixelized anyway.
And going that extra step further, just wait till you see what you're up against. You know, there's no point. Like, I think Xbox needs to beat PlayStation out. I think there's a point to be made there. I think that's a good, like, if we're arguing about next gen, Xbox needs to come first. I think it behooves PlayStation to hold on to their lead and see what Xbox has and then match it. Nintendo is in no business trying to beat them out. They should wait dead last. Like, they should maybe a year or two after the other two come out before they actually decide what they're gonna do. Just in my opinion, because there's no point. There's just no point in trying to, because, like, what if they throw the X2 into this, and by all accounts, I believe Digital Foundry said they could throw the new chip in there. It would run these games better natively. There'd be nothing that they would have to do, but it wouldn't be like a 4K jump. It would literally just be the 720p games are now 720p 60. You know, like the dynamic resolutions in Zelda are now just 1080 and the frames are locked. Like, it's just that kind of boost, which is a good boost. But why do that only for like a year later, you know, 8K or whatever drop on top of you, and then now you're right back to where you were with everybody saying you're underpowered. Just stay underpowered and then come out afterwards. Just makes more sense to me, anyway. Before we get to my fun little exercise next, is there anything else you guys want to say on this rumor? The floor is yours.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's not until next year, late next year.
You know, I mean, there's Rumor Direct coming. What? When did they say the Rumor Direct coming out? 10/10?
That'd be fun. That'd be exciting. Anything from you, Ryan?
You know, I'm just waiting. I'll see what happens. I'm not too dedicated to the idea of like committing to a system yet. But by late 2019, I'll be ready. I think
you might be ready.
So.
Oh yeah, by then I'll be ready too.
I think that's the really good argument for a possible chip upgrade, because I kind of agree with you. By the end of 2019, I think a lot of people might be ready for an upgrade. I named this episode New Super Switch XL Deluxe for a reason. What do you think they're going to call it? That's what I put out on Twitter. It was like the first thing I thought of, like, man, this could be really good. So I've got some names. Kevin threw in New Switch DS XL or the Wii Switch U. Justin says the 2D Super Switch XL. Tim Off from Nintendo Dad says the new Deluxe Super Galaxy Switch XL.
Oh my god, guys.
Tech-Mobile versus RBI Baseball says the Switch Up. Ibusel from Nintendo Dad said new Switch New. You know, when he said that, I was like, that's really dumb. And it sounds like something Nintendo would do. That's exactly what I said to him. I was like, God, that sounds so Nintendo. Kabaski comes in with just the very nice Switch Pro. Surge says the Nintendo Entertainment Switch Stream. And then they'll come out with the other one, the Super Nintendo Entertainment Switch Stream. Turkey followed that up with the Cash Grab XL or the Switch Plus. Caroline, if you were launching a new Switch, what do you call it?
The Switcheroo.
The Switcheroo? The bait and switch?
I mean, we're talking small, so it's like a roux. Get it?
What would you call it, Ryan?
I would call it a switch on, and on would stand for something. O-N, but it's switch on.
Switch on. Kind of like switch online.
Outrageous network. Except there's not.
The Switch Extreme, the Switch X. Oh, if they just went all 90s on it, that'd be great.
Yeah, all 90s.
That'd be great. Anyway, stay tuned, folks. I love the rumors. I love the
Switch
speculation.
Swatch.
Swatch?
Switch Swatch.
It's got the new bendable screen. You can just wear it. It just flops right That's the fun part with Nintendo. You get these rumors, everybody takes it all super hard, and they make all these decisions, and then the smoke clears, and then we make fun of their names. I was thinking, what if they called it the Switch LL? What if they have faceplates? What if they have backplates? What if they come up with customizable backplates?
Wow.
Maybe they clip
Switch
off.
9001 because it's over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Switch Boy is another one that was
Switch Boy.
Switch Boy is another one that was making around. Anyway,
Switch Boy.
Moving on to the next news story, which I'm delectably excited for, and I never thought I'd say this about this game again. Splatoween.
Woohoo!
Comes to Splatoon 2 this month, October 19th through 21st. The next Splatfest, pitting the teams of Trick against the teams of Treat.
Revolutionary.
Caroline, are you pulling treats or are you pulling tricks?
I think I'm pulling treats.
Ooh, Team Trick. What about you, Ryan?
I haven't made the decision yet, but I'm probably going to go towards treat.
Marina, my girl, man.
Alone again. I'm just alone again.
I'm not much of a prankster. I like chocolate too much.
It's really cool because they're decorating all of the stages for this. Like, this is above and beyond the Splatfest.
Yeah.
All the stages are getting the spooky effect, the neon glowing paint, the ghosts and ghouls, the jack-o'-lanterns. If you sign up tomorrow, if you're listening to this today, October 5th, if you sign up to the Switch news channel for Splatoon 2, they're giving away custom gear, one of which being the Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th mask. Yeah. Which is, you should sign up for that alone. Like, I'm going to have that mask.
You know how yesterday you're like, hey, I have codes for the Nintendo Switch exclusive stuff?
Yeah.
This is, like, when I heard about this, I was like, I've got to get this because, all this gear is coming out.
Sure.
And, yeah, this is great.
That gear is for those of you that sign up for Nintendo Switch Online.
Right.
You get, it's a jersey and some shoes.
Yeah. It's nothing big, but it's exclusive.
We've got codes to give away, listeners. If you want a code, let me know. Because we put it up and I was like, who wants codes? It was like Caroline. Everybody else was like, I don't care.
I don't even really play Splatoon anymore.
And that's what I said. I was like, I
gotta have it.
I don't think the code, the jersey and shoes is worth waiting through the load screen. Like, it's not worth waiting to load the game to get in there to see them. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
They're exclusive.
What do you guys think? I think I got one more Splatfest in me. Because it's Halloween themed, I think I'm back.
I think we do this. Yeah, that's a bye week for the dogs, so of course Brian and I are going to be playing it. I think that's
Shack stream then. Now we're going to stream Splatfest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ryan,
I love Halloween.
You know Splatfest?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in there. I think my whole family's gonna be playing. My brother-in-law doesn't have a Switch yet, but he'll probably, also probably switch off with him. So we'll definitely be playing it. We're really excited. We're all into Halloween around here. We live in Irvington. It's a Washington Irving themed city or town, I guess, really. So right a suburb of Indianapolis, and so we're all about the spooky stuff. So definitely gonna be a part of this. We play regularly anyway. We do the salmon run a lot. So. On Thursdays, I think every other Thursday or so.
Nice.
So we keep it regular, and we're excited to get into the Splatfest.
So you're still playing. I had mentioned last week, I kind of think I'm over it. Like, I played the last Splatfest, and quite frankly, I felt bored. Like, and we talked about this in the past, like, they don't really do a whole lot for the Splatfest. It feels like it could be, like, this is a bigger thing. Like, these seasonal events, treat it like Animal Crossing. Like, do it up, do something. Don't just throw some dumb team against each other, mayonnaise versus ketchup or whatnot. Like, it's dumb. Like, let's... do it up. Do it big. Blastoise and Charizard, Mario and Luigi. Have fun. Like, there's so much meat on that bone. There's so much that could be done there. And we're not doing any of it. How we had a presidential election, but we didn't get to Splatfest the presidential candidates is beyond me. I know Nintendo would never want to go there, but you can't tell me that wouldn't be like the greatest thing in the world.
Children don't care.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It's just being a part of a bigger community event, actually pitting people against each other for real. You know, like if they did sports teams, for example.
They did Transformers, and I love the Transformers one when they did it on the Wii U version.
Like pick real sides. You know, let's get a baby face and a heel, and let's set it off. And not this neutral, you know, everybody, like it just makes it feel not important. Yeah. And by tying this with the holiday and making it seasonal and actually adding some stuff to it, it makes it feel important. And I just wish they did more of this. If they did more of this, I'd Splatfest every month. Every month they come back to Splatoon. But, you know, most months it just kind of feels like, oh, they threw something on a chalkboard. So this is exciting. This is really good.
This definitely is a moneymaker for them because of Switch Online. Maybe people that aren't doing that will want to get back into Splatoon and pay for the online.
Very good point. I imagine there's a lot of people seeing this stuff. They don't even know they've got to... They're like, oh, we got to play. Yeah. And then they're going to go play, and it's like, we can't. Sean Capri in the chat says, Canada versus Mexico.
Because he knows that he can't compete with America, right?
Could you imagine if they did Canada versus the States? How much fun we would have at that.
It would be insane.
If
there would
like
be
poutine and hockey jerseys.
Crap
oh my
everywhere.
God, it would be so much fun. That's the type of stuff I want. Let's really do it. Let's do something that's good, you know?
Borderline, not PC.
Yeah, it didn't have to be like it crazy. Coke, Pepsi, anything like that would be good. Papa John's, Domino's. The marketing deals here are endless.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one was great.
Yes, that one was amazing.
I thought that was great. So yeah, I mean, like, tie it in with pop culture. Get some of that, like, I don't know.
That would be hilarious if they did Sony versus Microsoft.
Oh. That's the best one. I
just had a drink and you almost made me spit take.
Sean Capri, if you ran Nintendo, would you pit PlayStation against Xbox in Splatfest? That would be amazing. I just had the thought, what if they went back to like some of those old franchises that they're reviving? What if they did like Castlevania versus Metroid?
Oh, that would be awesome.
What if they did
that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, they've got all of this stuff that they're working with, all these old companies. Like, take some of these old properties that nobody's doing anything with, some of these NES games, and put them up. Yep. Like, you know, like even and you could even tie it in with the NES and whatever this becomes, Virtual Console. You could even like put the games up that month. Like, this month's Splatfest, and go play it on the online service. Like, that would be amazing. That'd be so good.
Ribo says loser keeps Bieber.
NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
Oh my God! Now you speak in my language. And
I hate both of them, but just the sheer excitement would get me to play it. I would totally play it. I'd pick a side. I'd pick whichever one my wife
BSB is where it's at, guys. BSB.
So, NES Golf and Solomon's Key and Super Dodgeball are out next week, October 10th. We're going to play NES Golf Online, I imagine.
Oh, totes.
They've got to have leaderboards or tournaments or something, right? I don't know how they're going to do that, but we got to play it. We're gonna rekindle and remember why that game is not good. I've played NES Golf. It's not super fun.
I like NES Open Tournament Golf way better. The one with Mario and his American flag get up.
And no, that's this one. This one is the one with he's got his little striped suit and whatnot, right?
This is just golf. There's just golf. The black box title, golf.
Is this the Iwata one?
I think this is just golf.
No. I don't think so.
I'll look it up.
It's the other one. You look it up. Fact check me. Best Buy confirmed a midnight release for Smash in select locations. That's interesting. For those of you getting those special editions or something like that, check the Best Buy store. Maybe you can get it at midnight. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll probably be knee-deep in Super Bowl whatever and can't even do it. So, Monolith Soft did some updates in a Game Informer article. They did a little blurb, little interview over the phone, and the director said, "From a sales perspective, I have to say Xenoblade Chronicles 2 exceeded my expectations. We really saw more people pick up the game and experience it in North American and European territories than we thought we would. It's still early days for Torna, but what we've seen in Japan, the sales of Torna DLC are also exceeding our expectations."
It's amazing.
That's good news. That's really good news. That both of those games
I just think it's amazing because it's a series that I love, and I'm glad that it's gonna, like, at this point, it's got a future to continue. I was worried that, you know, it was just gonna be sour with the people that love the first game, and this was such a different feel on this game compared to the first game, having gone backwards and played the other one. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the mechanics that they're going to use for the next installment, because I hope that they're going along the same lines as the, switching out characters like they're doing in the Torna DLC, and it's just so seamless. I just love being able to. Yes, yes.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, they've already confirmed they're on their next project. They already have hiring listings that are going up for the next project, so we should be hearing from Monolith Soft soon. Very exciting.
Xenoblade 3 next year with Animal Crossing?
No way. Ryan, did you play Xenoblade? Are you excited about this news?
I hit the same block. I get to a certain point in Xenoblade. The first one, I played the 3DS one, and I just kind of stopped, and I never got back to it. And then I was playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I had some downtime. I was like, okay, I'll play this, and I got to play it before whatever game comes out. And I hit that game, and I stopped playing it again. I haven't come back to it. I'm really, really far behind in the game. I'm not anywhere important, and the combat hasn't even gotten interesting yet, because I hear that it builds as you play it.
Oh yeah.
But no, it hasn't gotten too interesting yet.
Have you gotten past the Van Damme part though?
Which is that?
Then you're not past
Chapter 3.
They recently got away from the blade that attacked them as they were escaping. I can't say too much.
Morrigan Bridget?
Yeah,
the blue girl?
The blue girl.
He don't even remember.
I want to say no. I want to say no.
So what I said earlier today, because Kevin started playing it, and Lucas is killing it. He's going all the way through. Looks like he'll be caught up to Caroline. What I said earlier in our Discord that I stand by, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 really doesn't even begin until the Van Damme part. And if you don't know the Van Damme part, then you're not there yet. But that's really when it gets going. And I think a very good critique of the game is that it kind of sucks. You have to play that long to get there. It's like a good 15, 20 hours in before you get there. But that's when the game starts.
I just rescued the cat girl from her holding cell. So that's...
yeah.
He's literally chapter 2.
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
Yeah. It's okay. She's like, he's literally just
no, it's fine. It's fine. I was thinking about which chapter it was.
I got stumped on the Monolith Soft thing because I wanted to say the series director's name, which I know is Takahashi, but I didn't know his first name, Tetsuya Takahashi.
Tetsuya.
So I was like, wait a minute, I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. So that's the news block this week. You
were correct about the golf game, by the way. It is NES Open Tournament Golf, not to be confused with Golf, the black box title.
Yeah, and not to be confused with Golf Story franchise. Did you get Golf Story? Physical?
I just got the regular physical. Man, I was so tempted with those patches, man.
If they did a steelbook, I was there. A steelbook and a t-shirt would have got me, but they did the trophy.
But you got just the regular physical.
I just got the regular one too.
$30, can't beat it.
Ryan, this is an important question for you to answer. Seriously, the rest of your Nintendo Shack appearances rest on this. You've played and you love Golf Story, right?
I have not played it.
I'm kicking him out right now. I'm kicking him out of the show right now.
I'm interested. Just golf sounds so boring, and I haven't jumped over that.
He said golf and boring in the same sentence.
I mean, he is in Seth territory right now. He is so close to being muted.
He likes putt. Donnie is a golfer, and I grew up with a grandfather who humongously into golf and got me into golf as well. So
you owe it to yourself to play that game. It's so good.
My favorite golf game was on Intellivision.
It's not golf. That's the thing, though. It's not golf. It's an RPG. It's so much fun. It's so funny.
It really is fun. It's the humor in it is amazing.
It's hilarious. Way better than Undertale. Way better than Undertale.
No.
Way better than Undertale. Golf Story is way better than Undertale.
Boy. All right.
So before we get into some questions, we just got a couple. We're wrapping up here. It'll be an early show. Got a chance to talk about what you've been playing. I'll start. Not much. Because I've been doing all these Nintendo Shack podcasts and everything, websites and all that. I haven't played a whole lot. I played quite a bit of Torna until we started on the new blog redesign. I love Torna. Really, really love Torna.
Yay!
I got through the first big city area.
Oh, okay. I know where you are.
But I think I have the party. I guess the better part.
You have the party.
I'm swapping out blades. I got 6 different people I can play through. It's so much fun.
Putting up all 8 elemental orbs.
Yes, and I said on the first time we talked about it, I was talking about how you do the art power ups and swapping in and out, and you corrected me rightfully so about how that's just the same thing from the first game. I guess I wasn't like kind of articulating, I guess, how it was making me feel, the fact that the party was set. I felt strong, and I felt like the story was good versus like just collecting blades and throwing people in and out. Like it felt
the
more
first
fun
game was
that
more
way.
like you experiment with what is good and what you like and stuff. But I definitely like having that one of each element.
Being able
in
to
a party.
fight as the blade, like as your favorite, and not like
That's true,
just the
too.
driver.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough how much Torna improves just by not having Rex. Sorry, Caroline. This is like addition by subtraction.
I don't like Rex either very much.
I don't mind
Zeke,
Rex.
I'm a Zeke girl. I love Zeke.
But playing as Adam and Jen and Laura is
Adam is the
so much
bomb.
better. It's so much better.
Adam is the bomb. Adam is a nice hybrid of Rex and Zeke. Have you noticed that? How much of Zeke is in Adam?
Yes, the Zeke
Or
part
vice
I get a
versa.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm really enjoying that. It's really fun. I'll get back to it eventually. I got to tell you though, I'm off in other console land now. Like Forza dropped. I have all these things to play, and I'm doing all the racing. It's super fun. But I am very.
I did hear you could race minis in that one, so I want to try it out just for that.
Oh,
Mini
you can.
Coopers?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can get all kinds of Mini
snap.
Coopers. I am driving well, I put videos up on our Twitter if you want to see it. The car that I'm driving, my main, if you will, for Forza, is my Pikachu Subaru. I have a Subaru rally car with Pikachu on the side. It's all blue, and I got Pokeballs, and it is freaking sweet.
Awesome.
How did they get that in the game?
I have a Squirtle one too. You can make your own designs. So I have all these like Nintendo designed cars, and I'm flying around. Forza.
I
It's
thought
so much fun.
that they literally gave them licensing to do that.
No. Like you have fan made cars, like fan creation. So like
I
basically,
gotcha.
when you think about just any car, you go in there and you search designs. Basically, anything you think of is probably there.
Wow.
All the
Sailor Moon.
anime is done. Like
Sailor
it's
Moon.
all. Yeah, there are Sailor Moon cars. They're everything. Pokemon cars, Dragon Ball Z cars. It's all done. So you can really just race around anything you want. And some of these artists out there are fantastic.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to say is, unfortunately, I am still very much looking forward to playing Super Mario Party tomorrow by myself with me and my kids. Because as all the news comes out and all the reviews comes out, they are dropping like flies over here in PSVG land. Ye of little faith. Everybody's quitting on this game.
I'm getting the game. I'm just not getting
Later.
it tomorrow.
Later. I'm getting the game later. Maybe.
I'm getting around Black Friday. Honest to God.
Sean Capri says he needs an Xbox Drive car. That's a good point. I was thinking I can't do it because I'm not talented. We totally need like a PSVG car. That's a thing. You should have a Shaq car. Somebody should figure that out.
You just upload the picture.
Ryan, are you getting Super Mario Party? Can we play together?
I'm not picking up Super Mario Party right away. I've never picked
again.
up Mario Party on launch day. I wait till later. Usually it's a Christmas gift or something like that.
Right.
Sure, that makes sense.
Sometimes my wife pressures me into getting it, but I haven't had any argument lately with the 9 and 10 with being in the cart and stuff. But now that they've broken away from that and are doing that, I'm considering it a lot heavily. But it's still not a day one purchase for me. I'm still going to be getting it ultimately though.
The one recommendation that haunts my PSVG is my review of Mario Party Star Rush that I still really enjoy. We really like that game. And I told Josh I really liked it, and he hated it. And I feel forever like I wronged him because apparently he just didn't like it nearly as much as me. I gave it an 8. Like I rated it an 80, just a great 8, a B. But it's interesting. I've come to realize at PSVG that I feel like I have a Mario Party bias based on my surrounding conditions. I have children. I have player 2s and players 3s. My wife likes playing games with me, games that are simple that she can be competitive in. Insert Mario Party. Like I have, like when we got Mario Party Star Rush and we were doing reviews, I was playing download play with my kids. We had multiple 3DS systems out. Like these are the conditions in which I play Mario Party. And it's just quickly brought up to me almost every time I bring it up that I'm just like a unicorn. Nobody else does that. Like maybe they play with their wife. Maybe they have a child they play with, but other than that, like they just play by themselves. And all the news regarding online and the limited amount of games and the actual quality of the games you can play online with this one has really scared everybody off. So Shackers, if you are getting Super Mario Party this weekend, let me know. Tweet at me at Playing Nintendo. Let me know because I want to play online, and quite frankly, I don't know who I'm going to be playing online with. I wonder if we can squad up with randos because I want to test it out so I can talk about it.
Yeah, you probably can.
But I got nobody to do it with. Everybody's like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. Ryan, what have you been playing?
I picked up Dragon Ball FighterZ and got the DLC Super Booted In Super Nintendo game for Switch. So that was fun. I played it a little bit, but I didn't get a lot of game time in. I was pretty much consumed by Undertale. And then I picked up Mega Man 11. I'm trying to rush my way through Mega Man 11. I've got to breakneck speed through Dragon Ball FighterZ storyline to get me ready for next Friday when The World Ends With You drops.
Ooh, so you're in on
Nice.
that. No on Mario Party, but yes on that. I get you.
Oh yes, that's a big one for me.
All them indies, man. All them indies.
Oh, that's a Square Enix game.
What are you doing, Don?
I said I had to throw something. I'm having a Caroline moment over here. I had to just relieve some pressure. That's cool. I'm glad you're getting it. That's one of the games that I will have on my cheap bucket list. To grab.
I think I recognize that person in the chat there. Oh, is that Jason?
Ooh, is that I don't know. No, it's not. It's Lucas.
Lucas is signed in.
Lucas, brother Lucas. Caroline, besides Arena of Valor, what have you been playing?
Dragalia Lost's first event started today, and I have been pretty obsessed with Dragalia Lost. There are people that are just killing this game. I mean, like people that have maxed out the character levels already and already gotten up to the full chapters and stuff. I beat chapter 3 today. And yeah, I'm having a nice chill time with it. And it's a nice little game. I'm pretty enjoying it. But other than that, I was playing a little bit more of Torna, but Arena of Valor this week has really just sucked up all my time. Really. That's all I've been playing.
Okay. So, finishing off our show, we just got 2 direct from you questions.
Boing.
We don't have Jason to do. Brian, say please understand.
Please understand.
Say it. You're in Jason's chair, Ryan. Say it.
I am so sorry. I thought you said Brian. I was like, what?
No. You're sitting in Jason's chair.
Please
Jason
understand.
says that we need you to say, please understand. I can't go on
Please
without it.
understand.
There we go. This one comes from Kubaski. I love my 3DS, but I haven't flipped it open and played it recently. Anyone's have this where other systems just have a priority over one another 99% of the time? As somebody who has all the systems, I feel it all the time. It depends, like the new hotness game that comes out and I rush to the console to play it on, and I get backlogged everywhere. So yeah, I definitely feel it. I feel the 3DS squeeze too. I still occasionally pull up Mario Golf. I wanted to start a Zelda game when he actually sent this our way. I couldn't decide if I wanted to try Link Between Worlds again or go back to Ocarina, so I never started one. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that the 3DS, it's had a great run. It's been out there for 7 years, like and most people have moved on. It's time to move on. I'm looking forward to playing Luigi's Mansion.
Some of my favorite games of all time are still on the 3DS.
Oh, it's got a great catalog. My 3DS has like 100 games installed on it that are amazing. Like I could never get rid of it. It's not one of those consoles I would trade,
absolutely.
Because of just the value of the games.
Well, you've traded plenty of them. It's just
Right. So we lost Ryan. Let's see if he comes back.
He'll pop back in.
But what about you, Caroline?
Yeah, I actually mentioned this on my stream the other day. I was kind of saying, I would play PC games more. There's tons of PC games that I have on my Steam that I just haven't played, but it's because I've kind of just been in Switch La La Land ever since it came out last year. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and I've literally just been inundated with all of these games ever since it launched. If it's not a first party title, there's something in the middle that's an indie title that's been keeping me at bay. I have not been giving my 3DS love.
But
now I will be giving.
Coming.
Luigi's Mansion is coming next week.
Yep.
Next week. So I will definitely be. It's coming to me. I've already pre-ordered it, so that will be something good to get me back into the little bitty baby.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I'll say it's envious to be in your position. There are often times I sit back and I tell myself that, next gen, I'm just going to commit to one thing and just do it. But so many of the games that I love, like my favorites, are exclusives. And it's weird, I think it really kind of sets me a little bit apart. Like my favorite games, like if I gave you a top 10 list, 9 of the 10 are system exclusives, and
Right.
they're all on different consoles. So it's like, I
Yeah.
have an Xbox because I love Forza and Fable. I have a PlayStation because I love The Last of Us. You know, so like it's yeah. I just kind of I kind of have.
If I were that obsessed with Kingdom Hearts, then I would just have a PlayStation just for Kingdom Hearts. Speaking of which, somebody that plays Arena of Valor and has played it on a mobile actually came into my stream today and said they bought a Switch just to play the Arena of Valor port on the Switch. That's amazing.
That's something.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't necessarily know if that's wise, but sure. To each
Yeah,
their own.
no, but I mean, like, it sold a system.
That sounds interesting. That's something. Ryan, do you still play your 3DS? Do you feel the squeeze on having multiple systems or anything like that?
I carry my 3DS around the house. Like, I'll pick it up. I'm like, oh, it looks so cool because I've got like the
Like a little baby.
Hanafuda style faceplates on mine.
Yes. Nice.
Has like the boo on the back and then the piranha plant on the front, and so like I'll pick it up and I'll carry it around. I'll plug it in and I'll charge it. I keep it charged, but I haven't actually opened it up and played anything on it. I still have WarioWare that I haven't even touched on there, so I haven't. I just like, you know what? I probably just want to play my Switch because I end up just like I want to play with people, so I get on and see who's playing what, and I don't end up playing.
Federation Force, baby. Let's do it. Me and you. We'll jump on there.
I'm okay with that. I love Federation Force.
That's a funny story. Jason and I did too. For all the things I said about that, Jason and I got sucked in Federation Force, and we were like, we don't know what the problem is. Game's pretty cool.
I hated the ball game, but I liked the actual.
And I totally love the ball game. I wish they'd bring that to Switch. I played the crap out of that game. Last question, one just really directed right at Caroline, but I'll throw a little mix in here for us. Alan wanted to know, Caroline, why you collect things, and if you have like do you just collect things as a behavior, or like are you trying to get somewhere? Like, is there an end game and goal?
It's a behavior. Ever since I was a child, I collected everything. I would pick up rocks around the yard, and so I began a rock collection. I liked the way that a stamp looked on my grandmother's mail, so I pulled the stamp off and I started a stamp collection. So it's always been ingrained in my mind that I have to, if I like something, I want to make a collection of them. I have a huge stuffed animal collection, by the way, that is still growing to this day. And
so you're just a hoarder.
No, I'm not a hoarder. I am very, very particular about, like, I wish I had space to actually put everything in nice little areas, and I can't wait to get display cases, guys. Like, I can't wait to get the nice, big, clear display cases with all the shelves and stuff.
Are you going to, like, LED lights and stuff?
Yes! Oh, God, yes. I'm so excited. So, that's for the house and the game room. It's coming. My grandmother collects too, you know? And it's just, I don't know. I think maybe I get it from.
Maybe.
I've just always been a collector.
I'm open to the possibility of it being genetic.
And like I've said before, I think I was kind of scarred from my parents selling my Sega Genesis and all the games. That I missed that so much, and I wanted that physically, that I've just kept telling myself I'm not getting rid of all of this stuff, and I want to make sure that I have everything physical in case something happens.
So what happens when everything goes digital?
I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to really be upset. But
Limited Run.
What? Limited Run? Yes. Limited Run is like one of my favorite companies right now, just because they cater to people like me. That, I mean, like, I of course, like all these games that come out digital, and I don't want to miss the story. So I get it digital, but if there's the opportunity that I can buy the physical version of it, I'm absolutely going to do that too. I don't know. It's a very good question. I mean, you can talk to a psychoanalyst or something and get me an appointment or something. They can talk to me about why
you're still getting all those amiibos. I'm glad I'm out of the amiibo game.
Yeah, I collect amiibo too.
We were talking about that. I said I'm glad I'm out of the amiibo game, and Eric correctly pointed out I'm totally getting the Ridley amiibo, so I'm not out. I'm just on the periphery.
Ryan, just wait for another character to drop and Smash, and you're gonna have to get that one too.
No,
this time next year you're going to be getting it.
It's got to be the right one, you know, because like Ridley, I'm getting Ridley because Ridley's awesome, and we've never had any Ridley stuff, and it's like it's huge, you know. Like I'm getting that one specifically for that. I'm not getting the other ones. I've got the cards. I still like my cards, but Ryan, do you collect stuff? Like, do you have a collection?
Yeah, I do collect stuff. I tend to collect a piece of something or a part of something. I'm content with getting like one thing of something. Like with Amiibo, I'm all in the Smash Amiibo, like, and I'm okay getting a couple of other things that are Amiibo here and there, some of the ones that are harder to find. But I'm really like I focus intently on one specific thing. Like if I'm into a certain Pokemon, I have to get one thing for that Pokemon, whether it's a plush or something to represent that Pokemon. I don't have to have anything else. And even if I have a sticker or something, I'm happy with that. It just as long as I have that represented. There's some bigger collections I have, but I'm more just like here and there. And then of course video games. I still buy physical. I don't know why. I should go digital. I get more coins that way if I did that, but I still go physical.
That's just really well put, because that probably defines any. I mean, I don't consider myself a collector of much. I have a couple of knickknacks from things that I really, really enjoy, but there's no like collection or completing of a set, or like it's not. I don't think it's really overboard. If there's anything that I probably collect, it's like these canvases behind me. I really enjoy having like these little artworks and stuff around the house, but they're super cheap, so I don't really count them.
Okay, I say that, but I do collect Joy-Cons. I have a bit of an addiction with that.
Ooh, so
you and me
are
both.
A collector. Ah, so that's different. Yeah. The only story I say is I felt that way when I was doing the Amiibo. Before I got Amiibo cards, I had like 70 Amiibo, and they were huge. They took up like this entire table. And I like just one day, like when I found out about the cards, I was just like, wow, that would save so much space. They'd be so much easier to use. Like, why do I have all of these plastic figurines?
Because they're cool.
Yeah, but if you can't carry them all, like what are you gonna do with them? Buy display
Put them in a display case with an LED lights.
I'm good. I don't need to see them.
Boy.
So, but you're right. Some of them are cool. Like I totally bought. I told you already, Caroline, but I totally bought a Corrin. I could never get Corrin, female Corrin. I bought it on Play Asia, and I'm waiting for it sometime next year. It'll just ship over here.
Oh, you got the Amiibo.
Yeah, because I never had one.
Finally.
I could never get one.
Yeah, also fun fact, after Shaq one night, I showed Donnie my Nendoroid and Figma female Corrin, and Donnie's like, I gotta have them.
I gotta have those. Gotta have those too.
He went ahead and bought some. So yeah, Nendoroid and Figma are probably the newest. The figurines are the newest one, like, and the really nice posable figurines, guys, like $70 ones.
So, I mean, I realize even I have my own vices, but I try not to be a collector. I try to kind of get rid. I'm more easy to move on from stuff. A story of which that I'll tell when I get my Poke Switch. I've got an interesting story to share with you guys that I'm interested to hear what Caroline thinks of.
Am I going to cry?
You might.
Really? Is it going to be like a sad letting go story? Oh, Donnie.
Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and I'll burn it now.
No.
So I was nothing against you, Ryan, at all. Don't take this way, but I was going to save it for Jason, and I was going to save it for the Poke Switch. But so I ordered the Poke Switch, which I've talked about. I'm very excited. The kids are very excited. I've contemplated, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'll buy the kids docks for Christmas, because we will have 2 Switches, and we can, if I buy an extra dock or 2, we can have a dock on every TV in the house. So the kids can take their Switch, and I can take my Switch, and we can literally just walk around the house and plug in and play wherever we are. Sounds super fun. I realized when I bought the Switch and everything that one of my systems would have to go by way of the box. Something's got to get boxed up. I can't make room for everything. I don't have enough HDMI ports. And basically what I'm trying to say is the Wii U's probably have to get put up. So I was gonna have to box up the Wii U and all the games, and I'm not sure, Ryan, if you ever caught the story, but I reacquired all of this Wii U stuff not too long ago because I wanted to replay it, and I did, and I played Wind Waker and I played Twilight Princess. I kind of relived it, and the kids and I played Nintendo Land, and we've been playing it, but I kind of collected it all, and I was talking to my wife. I was like, hey, we're gonna have to box this up or something. I have to put it in storage or something like that, and then I thought to myself, for the last couple years, I've been buying my nieces and nephews, as they age up, 2DSs because they're super cheap. And like every year for Christmas, I get like the oldest one in line a 2DS. And the idea was to outfit their family with games. They don't spend a lot of money on these types of things. I get very excited when they come to my house because my kids are completely spoiled. And all of the kids just have a blast. They just go bananas at my house playing all the video games. All they do is want to play the video games. So I looked at my wife and I said,
"Don't give it away.
What if
Don't.
we give the Wii U and all of
Don't.
the games to the nieces and
No.
nephews?"
You just got it back. Your kids are going to be devastated.
The kids actually love the idea. They were like, "This is amazing," because the oldest system, what they have at their home, like what they play games on, they have the 2DS. The oldest has the 2DS that I bought her, with Mario Kart and Animal Crossing, and then they have a RetroPie where they play SNES games. And here I am with a Wii U with every like Wii U game that you'd want. And Ryan, if you missed the episode, when I got the new Wii U, my NNID was unlocked, and I have every digital game that I bought through that entire history on it too. So it's got, I mean, it's like literally the Wii U collection.
This
like
gives
it's just
me
everything.
so much
It's like
anxiety.
200 games on this thing. All the virtual console games, like everything, it's all here. And I was like, my kids were like, they would go ape, just Mario Kart. Like that's their thing. They play Mario Kart 7 and they love Mario Kart. And they come to our house and they played it on Switch. Last year for Christmas, when they got to play Mario Kart 8 for the first time, they like their faces melted. They were so excited. They played it for hours, like endless, like 3 in the morning. They had to be pulled off of the game. And I was like, we could just put this in their house and they could have it. And we'd be doing something good with it versus it sitting in a box.
Well, yeah, I understand that. And I mean, like it's a good thing and it's a cute thing and they're gonna like it a lot. But I don't know. It's just
I knew you were gonna be this way. That's why I was gonna wait for Jason because I knew you were gonna be like, don't.
It's probably I mean, this is one of the things that I will probably struggle with until I have my own child. But I don't even want my own children to touch my stuff.
Well, and that's why I'm getting my own Switch. That's why I'm getting Poke Switch. I feel you there.
Not only that, but I mean, like, I could never see myself giving away something that I like so much and giving it.
So, I think the best way that I can explain that is, you know, I go through these cycles where I want to play something. Or, you know, like I have an urge. I think we all do. But once I kind of scratch the itch, the further and further I get away from something, especially like boxing something up. Like the moment it moves away, or it's out of sight, out of mind, it's like I have no utility and no use for it. And you guys know, like the way I flip things, I wasn't going to sell it. I told my wife I wasn't going to sell it. I was like, I'm not going to sell it. It's just like, it's got too much on there. I've got my NNID on there. Like, I don't want to sell it. But the idea of giving it to the rest of my family and letting them like continue on with all of the great things and all the great stories that we've had.
I mean, one day when I die, my collection will pass on to my children, but that's when I'm dead.
You can play Animal Crossing when you pry it from my cold, dead hands.
I'll get them their own. Yeah, exactly. I know it's selfish, but it's just I'm not a mother yet, and I don't know.
I don't think it has that to do with it. It's kind of twofold. I've often said this. The Switch feels like the Wii U Pro, or you know, like the Wii U, you know, X. Like it feels like a continuation of that generation. I firmly expect all of those games that I played on my Wii U to come to Switch. So
yeah.
like by the time this Christmas, next Christmas, or maybe the Christmas after, I can't imagine a reason to play my Wii U. Let's put it this way. I can't imagine a reason to pull the Wii U out of storage and unhook and unplug and plug everything back up to play a game that's probably available on Switch. So like that's where I'm kind of like, I mean, because one, it would save me money for Christmas. I ain't gonna buy anybody a 2DS, and then like, I'm also like trying to win Christmas. It's like a thing that I love to do as like an uncle.
You dork.
I want my present to be the one that everybody, like the kids, get excited for. I love being that uncle. Like it makes me so happy. Like when all the presents are done, they're like, "Oh my God, thank you, Uncle Donnie. You're the best." That makes me so happy. I live for that moment. And the moment I brought it up to my kids, because I was like, you know, we're gonna have to put a Switch up here, and they're like, "What are we gonna do with the Wii U?" And I was like, "Well, let's talk about that." And to be honest with you, I hadn't made up my mind. I just kind of threw it at the wife, and she was like, "They would love that because they're never gonna like." It's just, you know, there's just different people in the world, right? Like we're gonna spend thousands of dollars on games a year. They're never gonna do it ever.
Right.
Like they look at me and they're like, "I can't believe you bought, you know, $100 Xbox 360." Like they just don't value gaming at that level. But I set the kids down and I was like, "Well, I was thinking about giving it to your aunt and uncle for Christmas. What do you guys think about that?" and they loved it. They went bananas. They were like, "Oh my god, they love
Your
the
children
2DS so
are
much.
so
They're gonna love this so much."
unselfish
Well,
and so much
it's easy to be
better
that
than
way
I
when they
am.
have every game. You know, they've got all the games.
Donnie, I get upset when I give away my stuff to Goodwill.
Well, but this
You
isn't
know?
Goodwill.
Like
You're giving it to
stuff-
family.
I realize that, but I mean, like, for
I didn't
people
say
that
I was to
need
walk
it,
out on the street and put up a free Wii U
When we're
sign.
talking about people that need it and that would enjoy it more than you. I'm talking about, like, you know, I'm not wearing these clothes anymore, but I feel like I'm giving away, like, part of me when I do that. I don't know.
So this is kind of my area with nostalgia. And take with it what you will. But I had a very, very large Pokemon card collection.
Oh God, don't even get me. I'm with you. I'm with you.
And I was holding on to him. And you know what? My cousin is really into Pokemon. He would just absolutely love this. So for his birthday, I gave him all of my cards, just all of them.
Just box them
like,
all up. I have a drawer. I have that card
I had
collection.
a big, like, long box, and it was just full
Nice.
of it. And I just said, "Hey, here, man, you'll appreciate this a lot more than I will." And now, as time has passed, I've become nostalgic for those cards, and I'm collecting the cards again. I'm like, I would love to have that stuff back, but and I ask him every once in a while, like, "Hey, man, are you still doing anything with those cards?" Like,
Oh,
no,
no.
I'm still holding them back and saving them for future when they become valuable. And I'm like,
He's trying to gift it back. So
trying to see if he's done with them. If he's not, I mean, hey, I've got my own cards now. I've built up my collection a little bit more. I don't have the old stuff, but that's fine. I can still play the game, and that's kind of the thing. Like, you can still play Switch games or Wii U games on the Switch because they're porting that stuff over. So you have access to that stuff, and it means a whole lot more to them, and it is a lot more valuable to them.
Yeah, I 100%. Like, the only games that I think I'd ever really go back to now are the Zeldas, and I 100% think before it's said and done, they'll be here. Like, I'm not.
Wait,
I'm
you're not
not
going to go back to Star
concerned about
Fox Zero because we all know that's not getting ported.
Yeah, yeah. Then that's kind of where it is. It's like.
Hey, you want to give me that one? Didn't you buy that for $5? Is it still in the box? Because I need it still.
You trying to take away from my family?
No, I'll buy it from you.
$6, $1, Bob.
They ain't gonna play it either. Are you kidding me? I'm never gonna play it. It's just gonna sit on my shelf.
I did. I mean, so we did it. We already boxed it up. It's boxed up. It's taped up. It's not wrapped yet, but I mean, it's set aside. We made the decision, and it's a big box. I'm so excited because like, we got the Mario Wiimotes and everything. Like, they're it's a family system. It's like all the games that we had and everything are multiplayer game, Mario Party, things like that. I'm excited.
Don't come crying to me in 3 months when you're like.
I'm excited to see it. I think the face, like their faces, is going to
see. I wish I were a good person like you, Donnie, because that stuff is that stuff just does not light up my life. I just
be sure when you talk to them and just be sure that they'll take good care of them.
Yes, that's my main concern.
That was my thing that I was worried about with the Pokemon cards, and why I asked if he's still doing anything with them. Yes, I kind of want them, but at the same time, like, I want to make sure he's not just giving them away to Goodwill or something like that.
Yes.
Like, it's
Sure.
something that meant something, and I just didn't want that just tossed away. So, like, if they go to trade it in to get the newest system, that's kind of like, ouch,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention they have a RetroPie. I bought them a SNES Classic last year for Christmas. Their dad was a gamer before he went to college, and he still has his old NES and his old NES games, and they play those. So like I guess one of the pieces of the story that I left out, I sent my kids there this past winter because they just had a new baby. So I sent Victoria up there to kind of help out with baby and help out with the kids and just just to see family. And Victoria was like, "Dad, they're playing like Mega Man 2." Like, religiously.
What's wrong with Mega Man 2?
Well, think about it from my daughter's stance.
I know, but come
she's
on.
like, oof, it's hard to. She's like, it's like going back in time, going to stay with my aunt and uncle. So
I'd be so excited.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, man, this is nuts. Like, could you imagine if anybody just like gave you a collection? And it's not like a collection, but like they just gave you like a catalog, not a system, but it's like, here is the system and all of the games that you could want for it. Like, it's just, here's all of it.
I gotta be honest. It just kind of makes me feel nauseated. I I'm serious. I have like this pit in my stomach for you, dude.
Wow. I knew you were gonna say this.
Guys, I love my collection and I'm never gonna let it go. Not even for my own kids.
Yeah, I gotta say, my collection's like, if theft were to ever happen, like, I would be devastated.
Oh, so, yeah. That's why I'm like big into like making sure everything is insured, that I have dollar amounts for everything as they go.
But you don't play it. Like, what utility does it have?
Just having it makes me feel like, I don't know. It's like puzzle pieces, you know? I like the puzzle pieces.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's obviously the disconnection there, going back to the collector question. And that's the disconnect there. That
I suppose.
Yeah, I just don't have that, you know, and that's okay. I just don't have that. Like I said, once I box it up, I'm like, well, this isn't doing anybody any good. Here I am sitting with all this money invested into a box. Put up in the, ooh, I like that.
Is that a Gengar? Oh, no, it's a Haunter. Oh,
Haunter. Love it.
See, I collect Pokemon plush, too. My most recent one is a Stuffle.
Yeah, I told you I bought that big Cubone one because Cubone's my favorite. And I had him here.
My wife's plushie collection will probably give yours a run for its money. So
I don't know about that.
We only have one. I bought it and I put it here for 2 weeks, and my son was absolutely devastated because he's always wanted one. Just a Pokemon plush of any kind. And my wife was like, I can't believe you bought yourself a stuffed animal when you know your son has wanted one for so long. So one day I just gave it to him. I just like put it in his bed while he was asleep, and he woke up and he was like, Mom, did you put this in my room? He was like, Dad's gonna be really upset.
That's so cute.
And she was like, no, I think your dad gave it to you. And then like he came to confirm. He's like, so can I like keep it?
Oh, it's so cute.
So yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, that does it for our show. We rambled on too long about this. So, but
yeah,
if anybody out there, tell me what you think. Me giving away my collection. Are you Team Caro or are you Team Donnie? Shackfest. Tell us what side you're on. Yeah, let's give us a poll. I'd love to hear it because I thought I was doing something good. Doesn't bother me. I have no hard feelings about it.
And you know what? I feel like a terrible person having that, but it just I feel like I would die if that happened to me.
Die?
Yeah, like just like a piece of me would be ripped out.
That's an exaggeration.
That's how it feels.
But if you like Caro and her exaggerations, go check her out on twitch.tv/thenintendame, where I hear she's got lots of exaggerations daily, just like today. Caroline, would you plug your Twitters and Instagrams and Angel Fires and Cartas?
Didn't you already do that for me? And Cartas. Do you remember Zonga? I was thinking about that last night. Do you remember Zonga?
Yep.
Like live journal blogs for preteens. Yeah. I don't think they are in existence. Otherwise, I would get one, right? Twitch.tv/thenintendame is my Twitch. Twitter, the Nintendame, and really my Facebook and my Instagram are just kind of off to the side. I'm mostly on the other two. And you can also find me in the Make Us Better Discord.
She just snatched them up for brand awareness. She's just like, maybe one day.
I sort of did, but I do post on the Instagram daily.
Super famous. Oh man, looky here. I think Rybo and Sean are Team Caro. Apparently I'm in the minority here. Again, I'm alone. All over on my island.
Sean says I want more Shaq. But Sean, I have to go to sleep.
It's a lot of Shaq. Ryan, thank you so much for dropping by
dude.
Nintendo Shack, our Patreon partner here. Tell us all the things about Nintendo nostalgia. Episode 100, new address. Woo! Give us all the buzz, man.
Yeah, I started listening to it, by the way.
We just hit our episode 100. Really excited about that. And with that, we come with the announcement that we have joined the Nintendo Village. We are now Nintendo
Village. Boo! Gary? That guy? Oh! Just kidding.
Snap.
I like Gary.
So that's a pretty big move. It's pretty exciting to be a part of that and get to know those guys over there. So, yeah, we're at a new hosting site. But as always, you can find us on our Facebook, on our Discord with Make Us Better. We hang around there every once in a while. You also, unique feature to our show, we're all about nostalgia, and you can actually call into our hotline and leave some of your nostalgic memories, and sometimes we'll play it on the show, especially if it's the theme. Sometimes even your call-in can help shape us, and we decide, oh, we'll do that episode then, and we'll definitely, have your voicemail played. That nostalgia hotline is 317-969-5690.
What if I call in with a real sappy one about Wii U? Will you play it and then we can send it to Caroline?
Like I said, don't you be crying in 3 or 4 more months, sending them a voicemail. Guys, I really missed the Wii U. What did I do?
I'll just come over to your house. You're not using it. So.
It's true, but I don't have like all the games yet. I'm like, I got like 15 games away from owning all of the ones that I want.
Nice. And I'll just sign off one more time. I am playing Nintendo. Ain't no G's in playing Nintendo. Come check us out at our blog. Same website, psvg.blog. New look, new design, new feeds, new everything. New giant Discord banner. Guess what? New Discord. New channels. PSVG Land is there. Shack Channel's there.
Capri Land.
Capri Land. Warp Whistle Land. Nostalgia Land. All the stuff.
The Xbox Drive channel.
Yeah, it's all there. So
it.
you can come hang out with all of us. I would say amazing content creators. And even the folks that aren't a part of the Patreon, they all do their own amazing content, and it's fun to have all of them there, like Gary and Nintendo Dads and all that stuff. Speaking of Gary, I hear from the Nintendo Dads, he's a pretty cool guy when he's just not podcasting at like 3 a.m. England time. I think that's it. I always catch him. It's like super late and whatnot. So I'm told, but he's pretty salty guy. But yeah, check us out. And again, one last time, we just launched the new Shack feed. Please, we implore you, subscribe to it, rate it, share it, tweet it. Tag us at Shack Life. Let us know. Let's see if we can't create a little noise for us, because you only get one time to launch podcasts. That's the most influential time. So if you like Nintendo Shack, you want other people to like Nintendo Shack, this is the moment. The moment is now. We got about 7 days to do anything that we can do before we just kind of fold in line with the rest of Nintendo podcast online stuff. And the last announcement that I'd like to make is Nathan Thomas over in PSVG continues to push his Extra Life campaign. So please jump into the Discord, follow him on Twitter at Voiced by Nathan. Sign up for that. You can join his team. They can do all the streaming. I feel uninformed because I don't follow it as much. I've often, thought about streaming with him, but I know he's got his thing. He's done it with a team for a long time, but it's a great cause. It's one that we've supported for a long time. So give it a look. If you do that, if you've ever done it, if you thought about doing it, that's one avenue where you can contribute. So with that said, everything said, once again, thank you to our guest, Ryan, from Nintendo Nostalgia, for coming over. Caroline, is always a pleasure to talk to my Nintentus, and I can't wait to see you next week. And that is it for us. Good night, Kooplings.